Welcome friends, welcome to Kiss Up Cards, Keep It Simple Stamping Up. I'm Marianne Sheldrick and I'm coming to you as an independent Stampin' consultant for Stampin' Up. And I finally get to bring to you embossing, using embossing powders. Now in card making, you'll hear this term can be used one of two ways. So the one that I'm going to show you is with embossing powders. They come in little containers like this. You don't need much more than that. It lasts a long, long time. And then they have embossing folders that will kind of add a decoration that is imprinted in the paper, and that's called embossed designs as well. So you want to be careful and look out what we're talking about, because you don't want to confuse one for the other. You'll figure it out pretty quickly though. But we're going to talk about embossing with embossing powders, and it is a really cool technique. It adds some bling flair to your cards, and it's really kind of cool to work with. So let's get to my crafting table. I'm here at my craft table and I'm just going to show you a few of the necessities that you need for embossing. So you need a tray, or if you don't have a tray, you can use paper and fold it in the middle and use that as your trough. You just need something to be able to pour back the dry embossing powder back into the container. This embossing powder lasts a long time. You just use a very little bit. So this is silver, and I'm going to show you what it does. And this is silver, and it's dry. Form. This is copper, and I'll show you what each one of them looks like. This is clear, and my clear has some debris in it, some hair in it. I'll have to use the tweezers to get that out, and some other things, but I've been able to get it out as I go along. And then this is gold. Now, it doesn't look very gold right now, but when it gets heated up, it shines. You do need Versamark, which is a wet ink, but it's a very special ink. It stays wet longer. The other color that you can use is white. It stays wet a little longer as well, and I'm going to show you that as well. Then you need some tweezers. I just went to into my bathroom and got my tweezers, so that helps. If you have tweezers of any kind, that will help you. You need a brush of some kind. I got a square brush and a pointed brush. I think this brush is going to work the best. It's a little stiffer, so I'll show you what to do with that. And then you need an embossing buddy. And this so I just made my own. I had an embossing buddy from my scrapbooking days, but it is gone. And I've also lost the little screw on this end, which doesn't really matter because it can't come out of there. Oh, maybe it went in backwards. Maybe that's what happened. But, you know, that's okay. But this, I made my own. And I just took the corner of a pillowcase so that I had two edges that were already sewn up. I just had to sew one edge, and then I folded this over several times. And before I sewed it and folded it over, you can put cornstarch in it. I had arrowroot powder. You can put that in. Now what this does is you're going to use it on your paper to clean your paper off. You'll be surprised what static is on there. Yeah, you really want to get the static off. And none of I left it sitting over here and there's some white residue, but it doesn't come pouring out of the bag. It's just enough to help me to do that. And then you need a StazOn stamp cleaner. This is a special kind of solvent, a Versamark water stamp, and so it does need a little bit of extra, not just the cloth will do it. All right, so I'm going to show you how to emboss. This adds just a beautiful touch to your. I'm going to show you how to do this. And let me show you on white cardstock. Get this, the static off. All right, I've got some stamps here. And put it this way. So the Versamark looks like this. And I put this in here and it just, it's a special, it doesn't dry fast. So it stays wet long enough for you to put the powder on. Now you can't see anything, but there it is wet there. I can see it a bit if I just turn it to the light. So I'm going to do silver first. And so you take this and put it over your tray and you just sprinkle, and you can see the words popping up, and just cover it up. Tap it down and you see this. Now, if I touched it, it would all come off because it's not secured to the paper yet. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, wow, this is pretty good. Usually you can take your brush and brush off areas where there is embossing powder, because once you heat it, it's going to be on there for good. So this is where I take my tweezers. Oh yes, the other thing you need, I forgot this machine, is a heat tool. You can use your hair dryer. I have a heat tool. I'm going to turn it on first and then just heat this up. And I hope you can see the magic that's going to happen. See it getting shiny? And that's what the heat does. So it adds a little bit of interest. It adds a different color, and I can go like this now and none of it comes off. So that is silver. Now I'm done with the silver, so I'm going to take, see, I used very little, and I'm going to pour it back in. And I use such a little bit. This lasts a long time. Well, I guess it depends on how much embossing you do. Okay, so I can see that there's all kinds of stuff on here. So I need to take my embossing buddy, and you might want to do that. I think I got silver flecks all on it. So now I'm going to show you a different color. Yeah, you can't see anything, but let's do copper. You can see the writing. And okay, so I see some flecks. You may not be able to see it, and I'm going to just brush them off because it does impact your work. Okay, I did brush that Y a little bit too much, but there's nothing I can do about it now. All right, magic of heat. There we go, thinking of you. See that? And all of that is on there for good. See, there's a little spot there that I missed. So it ends up in your work when you're doing that. So the embossing buddy is really important. So that's the copper. I really love the copper. And then let's flip this over. Use the Embossing and Buddy to get all the static and stuff that's sitting on here. And grab my stamp again. Stamp here. And let's use the gold. Whoops, I almost mixed the gold with the copper. That, well, you never know. Might have been a good mistake or a bad mistake. All right. So you can see that very little gets used. And these come very full. All right. Let's sprinkle it with gold. So I see a mark right here. Oh, I think that may be on the paper. Okay. So let's heat this up. Oh, and then you just see the shine come. Once it turns shiny, you know you're done. And there's the gold. All right, let me empty this and I'll show you what I worked on the other day. I would suggest is not emptying the bottles on your paper, maybe doing that somewhere over somewhere else, because this is getting all covered with bits of glitter. So there's the gold. It definitely looks different than the copper. So with the silver, I did it on a dark color. So it looks just as nice on a dark color. And then the copper I did on a dark color as well. It adds some, I just love it on the dark color. It's so rich looking. And then I did some flowers. You see how you can add some stamping to your work with the embossing powder, and it just brings something out. Now, this is the clear powder, and so I stamped with white, and then I put the clear powder on, and it just makes a subtle, very subtle design, which is kind of cool. The clear, if you just stamped with Versamark and put clear, it would just be shiny. And I think it might work on black, but I have tried it on dark colors and you can barely see it. So the clear, I'm gonna have to dig into it a little bit more. It's not one I use that often. I spilled it, so that's why it's, yeah, I know it was a sad day when that happened. Don't spill your stuff. And then I did the gold on, see, I didn't have a brush and stuff. Oh, yeah, it's hard to get it off afterwards. But I put the gold on some ivory paper. I didn't do it. I kept forgetting to use my embossing buddy. So that's really, really important. So one other stamp that I'm going to show you, I'm going to take, I thought, oh my gosh, the butterflies. I think the butterflies would look so good in any of these. But I'm going to do a copper butterfly. So you can see this mark on the dark paper. Let's do this. Did you see what I just did? I forgot to use the Embossing and Buddy, and now it's too late. It's too late. All right, well, I hope this works. Oh, yeah, it's working really good. Okay, let's get my tweezers. Tweezers help because it extends your hand and you don't have to have the heat on your hand. Let's watch this take off. Oh, look at it get shiny. Look at that. Doesn't that add elegance to a card? You had embossed butterflies on it. That is cool. Very nice. Very nice. So lots of different things you can do. I'm going to put this back in here and I just shake it in. I think one other thing I would suggest is having a cloth for in here, just to wipe this out and my table. So there we go, embossing. Just some of the things, and then you can put them on your card. Let me see, do I have a card that has nothing on it? Let me see. So you could put like just a saying on your card. It would have been nice if this was embossed. Thinking of you, I could have embossed that as well. So lots of ideas. So you'll see this up in future cards that I'll add embossing to it. You never know when it's going to happen. So embossing. Oh yes, I did the copper on the brown as well. I really like that. So I had fun playing with these, doing my embossing with embossing powders. And that's embossing. Just a little bit of equipment that you need. And then now this just has a, and you just wipe it off, and then I'll clean it on my wet cloth over here. And that's what that is for. You can use that for your stamps as well, if you want. I just use the water and the chamois. Beautiful. It just adds some beauty to your work if you're doing a wedding card, a sympathy card, a birthday card, even make it like a special birthday. Beautiful touch. So embossing, look at some of the, look at that. That is just, this is the gold, this is the copper, and this is the white with the clear on it. And it makes it shine. I'm trying to, yeah, there we go. It makes it shine. And it just adds, there's the copper and the silver, and then the gold. So just a fun way to dress up your cards is with embossing powders. Really cool way to design cards. You will need a little bit of equipment. You'll need, you know, as I showed you at the beginning, some of the equipment there. You will need some of that. Some of it you can have at home. As for the tray, you could use a sheet of paper, just fold it in the middle so that you make like a trough when you fold it up, and you can do it on the paper. So you don't need the tray. You can use your hair dryer instead of the heat tool. But you do really need the Versamark, which is the ink stamp pad. Any one of these, or you can get all of them. You can stick with one color for a while. And the embossing buddy, but you can make your own very inexpensively, just with some fabric and with cornstarch or arrowroot powder. I had arrowroot powder. And so, yeah, there's and some ink cleaner. Definitely need that. I have no recipe for that, but maybe I might look for that because that might be something to do as well. So there are ways to make it more cost effective. And that's what it's all about, is making cards where I'm not spending gobs and gobs of money on it, but I'm able to make cards with the equipment that I have, or maybe some things in my home that I can add to it. I had most of this from my scrapbooking days, so it's great to be using it again. And some of it I got as you know, someone who was getting out of scrapbooking or card making, and they knew I was doing cards, so they gave me some of their stuff, and so that was helpful as well. So it's wonderful to be able to do that and help other people as well. All right, so that is embossing, and I finally brought it to you, and you're going to see it in upcoming cards. You never know when it's going to happen, so keep tuned. And just want to remind you of the special. It is the Sweet, S-W-E-E-T, Sweet Special, S-U-I-T-E. So the Sweet Special is anything in a suite. So it will say like a suite in the description. And a suite comes with a number of items in that suite. But you don't have to get the whole suite. You can get just the paper packs or the cardstock or the stamp set, one from each suite. There's a number of suites in there, so there's more than two. And then you get one at full price and one at 50% off. So it's a real good deal. The lesser amount will be the 20% off, or 50% off, sorry. So that's a really good special going on right now. You can get the whole suite, so you can get one suite for full price and another suite for 50% off. So it will figure it all out for you in the cart as well. And next week, Tuesday, one template, 3 cards coming up. So have a fantabulous weekend, folks, and thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending time with me. I love spending time with you, so thank you for taking that time out to spend with me. And share pictures of your cards. If you've made some cards, drop the pictures in the comments below or send them to me in an email. I would love to see what you come up with. And you know what? We inspire each other. So if you send me a picture and I'll look at that and I think, ooh, I might case that, you know, and use it in an upcoming video. So I get creative not by myself. I get creative in a team, in a group, and it is amazing and I love it. So I hope that encourages you as well. And then together, I mailed out 2 cards today. I'm not proud of myself. It's finally about time because that's not my strength, but just keep it up, folks. Keep sending kindness out, 1 card at a time. Thank you.